Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I will be reviewing NYX Cosmetics Swear by It palette. This is a big ass palette. I'm going to try to give you guys at least 2 looks just because it is a big palette and I want you guys to get a feel of the palette. I will be doing the looks first and then I will be talking to you guys about my thoughts. So let's just get right into it because I know it's going to be pretty lengthy. Alright you guys, I already primed my eyes with the Plouise Base. I'm going to take this yellow with the Makeup Shack T33 brush and I'm gonna put it right here. Oh my god, the fucking sirens. And I'm gonna put this yellow right here. Now, the yellow isn't like a super bright yellow. I could already tell you that if you guys can see. Keep placing this. I have to keep building this color up. I mean, it's there, don't get me wrong. But then again, it's not like a super bright yellow, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm going to dip into like these orangey mustardy colors right here. I'm going to take 2 of them and then lower it right here. It's like so. This is really pretty. Now there's not a lot of kickback in these shadows. It's like no kickback at all, like hardly. I'm using this one and this one right here. There's also no fallouts on my cheek, which that's a good thing too. When I first saw these shadows like online, they looked like the yellows looked like bright yellows, but in the pan they look more like mustardy shades, you know, like really light yellow. I'm just gonna keep building that color up, but overall there's no patchiness, there's no dryness, there's no nothing. Like they're blending really nice. Okay, now I'm gonna take these warmer shades down here and I'm gonna place them on the outer corner. These are really pretty. I actually mixed those 2 shadows together. I'm placing this on the outer portion of the eye and then blending upwards a little bit. These are really nice. Like I said, the only problem that I feel like I'm having is that they seem a little dull. Like they're not as pigmented as I would want them to be. So I'm gonna continue to add a little bit more of this shadow in here and then blending it inwards. And go back and blend this out a little bit because it's looking a little weird, a little questionable. I think maybe at the end I'll like this. What do you guys think? Is it good? Is it nice? They're blending really nicely though. Now because I want there to be depth, I'm gonna take this dark brown and add it in there too. Right here, the outer portion of the eye. And then blend it inwards, like so. Switch brushes. Just get a really nice blending. Okay, I'm gonna cut my crease and I'll be right back. Okay, I cut my crease. Now I'm gonna add this like shimmery gold shadow. Really pretty, but again it's like super dull. Like I think maybe it's because I'm so used to doing like really colorful looks that I'm just like, what the hell? I don't really feel like it's the best shimmer. I mean, it's there, but it's like not giving it to me, you know. I'm gonna wet my brush. Just give me 1 second. There you go. I feel like I have to keep digging into the shimmer to get like the most pigmentation out of this, but it is so pretty. Like I'm looking at it in the mirror and it's very, very pretty. I'm gonna go back with that dark brown and just blend it in with the shimmer so there's like no harsh lines or edges or whatever. I'm so shook. The eyes look so good. So now I'm gonna take this like really pink champagne shimmer and put it in my brow bone just a little bit. You can't even really see it, huh? But it's really pretty. And I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna put it in my inner corner, like so. Alright you guys, so here is the final look on these eyes. I just put on lashes. It looks really, really pretty. I'm like semi-impressed. So there was no fallout on the eyes. There was no patchiness of the shadows, no dryness. The base grabbed onto the shadows really well. My only concern, the shimmers are not as like shimmery and pigmented as I wanted them to be. I had to keep building the color. That's pretty much it for this look. It is so pretty and it's wearable, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I really like it. It is really, really pretty. All right, on to the next look. I wanted to create another look for you guys because I wanted you guys to get a feel for most of the palette. Obviously, the palette has 40 shades. I can't really do so many looks because then my face will fall off. But I wanted to give you guys another look. Also, I had to do a voiceover because my household was really loud, so I'm really sorry about that. But I just did this like blue shadow, and I wanted to show you guys the palette so that way you guys can see that there was no fallout and no kickback. There was no fallout on my eyes and no kickback on the palette, basically. The shadows blended really nice. I had absolutely like no issue with those. This wasn't my favorite look. I kind of felt like, again, because I'm just used to really colorful shadows, I just felt like the colors were a little dull. Like, I don't know, they were just a little boring to me, but that's personal because you guys can see that the shadows are blending really nice. I had no problems with them. There was no patchiness, no dryness. And when I say dryness, I mean, like, you know, when you get those shadows that are really chalky and they just feel really dry. Well, that's what I mean when I say that there's no dryness. They blended really, really nicely. I had no problems with the mattes. Overall, the mattes in this palette were my favorite. I think the only issue that I had with this palette, and the only issue that you will hear me keep saying, is the fact that I felt like the shimmers were just lacking in pigment, and like they were just not shimmery. As you guys will see right now, like I kept putting it, and even when I used like a little bit of like Fix Plus or water or whatever, like it just wasn't shimmery and it wasn't pigmented, you know. So I did want to show you guys that. But yeah, this is this look, and we will move on to the rest of my thoughts. Basically, you guys know I hate voiceovers. They're so annoying and just I hate them. Okay, bye. Alright, you guys, so here's the final look for this eye. So I wanted to play with the blues. So there's no fallout, no patchiness. The shadows blended really nicely. My only concern again is the pigmentation in the shimmers. They're just not shimmery enough for me. All right, let's just get into my final thoughts and details of this palette. So this palette retails for $35 and it has 40 shadows in it. Now I know what you're thinking. A lot of people were saying that they feel like that was a lot, especially for NYX being a drugstore brand. But if you break it down, each shadow is basically 87 cents, and I feel like that's not bad. I think what matters most is the quality of the shadows. Now, I feel like the quality wasn't bad. I just feel like the shimmers in this palette were not giving it to me at all. I had to keep digging into the palette and building the pigment up to get it to be even shimmery and to get it to be pigmented. And there, basically, I just feel like the shimmers weren't that great. I did wet my brush a little bit to intensify, and that worked as well. Now, the mattes were actually really, really nice. They blended really well. There was no patchiness, no dryness. They stuck to the base really well. Now, in the beginning, you guys did see me say that they were a little dull, but when I was editing the first part of the video, I was actually like, wow, they're actually not that bad and they're pretty bright. So I do like the mattes in this palette. Now, this is how the palette looks. And here is how the inside looks. Okay, so this palette contains warm tones, cool tones, matte, and shimmer shadows in it. So it gives you a little bit of everything. I'm going to have swatches of this palette because I want you guys to see how they look swatched. Again, I don't care for swatches. I feel like they do nothing. I feel like it's better when you put them on your eye and see how they perform. I did use primer and then I swatched them. Now, would I personally recommend this palette? I'm kind of like 50-50 just because I didn't like the shimmers in it, but I know I can finesse the shimmers, but I feel like you shouldn't have to finesse the shimmers, you know what I'm saying? But then again, the mattes are really solid and they blended really well and they worked. They did what they had to do. So I'm just really 50-50. For me personally, I don't think I would ever repurchase this palette because again, I need shadows to be bright and I need shimmers that I don't have to finesse. But I hope that this video kind of helped you guys, and I will see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye guys.